Hey, what's up everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here once again. Today we're doing another edition in this series where I'm kind of revisiting some past years, doing my favorite albums from some landmark years, and today we're going to go back not too much in the distant past, just 5 years to 2020, and talk about my favorite albums that were released in 2020, 5 years ago. So this one was really tough to narrow down, revisiting something that's this recent. I was kind of curious to see how much maybe my tastes have changed even just in 5 years. If I would have done this 5 years ago, I mean, I didn't have a channel at that time, but like a lot of these would have definitely been on my list. Some of them definitely not. Some new stuff that I have been that I have discovered or found since that time will have crept into this list for sure. But yeah, as usual, like I've been doing each month, I'm doing one of these videos for a landmark year. I'm only limiting to a top 15. You're not going to get any honorable mentions. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk forever because there's so many great albums that I could be talking about. So I just want to do a top 15. And as usual, I'd love to get your picks down below. Let me know which ones you can't believe didn't make my list and just what some of your favorites were from the year 2020. So without further ado, let's just get right into this. So kicking it off in 15th place, I'm going with Cirith Ungol and their album Forever Black. So this was really a triumphant return from this band. If you're unfamiliar with them, they're epic heavy metal, doom metal, however you want to classify them. They're from the USA, and they put out some absolutely amazing albums in the 80s. And this was their first album in almost 30 years, so didn't really know what to expect at the time. I was really excited when I heard that they were dropping a new album back in 2020, and it certainly did not disappoint. Absolutely outstanding stuff. You've got great songs like Stormbringer, the Frostmod Stream. You still got the great album art as well, always about Elrica Molnebene. But yeah, just really a triumphant return, a great album. That's why it cracked my list in 15th place. Up next in 14th, I'm going with Valdin and their album Effigy of Nightmares. So this is some melodic black metal from the USA. This was their third album, and I just absolutely love the approach that this band takes, not just on this album, but on all their albums. Really, every single one of their albums is all built around the same concept and story that they have created themselves. They've created their own mythos here, and all their lyrics and everything, it's really cool to dive into and read this whole story, and the music just really matches it as well. You've got some keyboards in there, but you've got these great melodic riffs, and just the way that his vocal patterns go along to these riffs. I just absolutely love it. They've got a new album coming out right away too, which I'm absolutely pumped for, because their last album from, when was that, 2023, I believe, Throne of the Lunar Soul was one of my absolute favorites from that year. It's a lot to live up to after they've put out a string of amazing albums, but I can't wait. But nonetheless, I'm getting off track. Go check out Effigy of Nightmares if you have not. Up next in 13th, I'm going with Traveler and their album Termination Shock. So this was a sophomore album by this now disbanded Canadian band. I wish that they weren't disbanded, because this was one of the best traditional heavy metal bands from Canada. When I say they're from Canada, I think most of the band was from Canada, but their singer was American, if I'm not mistaken. And I absolutely love his vocals. He's in a ton of different bands as well, and he just really knows how to wail, and it just suits this style of music so well. This is full of great guitar hooks. Out of the 3 albums Traveler put out, this is probably my least favorite out of the 3, but it's still just absolutely killer stuff. The debut really knocked my socks off. This one was maybe a touch below the debut in quality, but then their third album was maybe their best album that they released, and then they called it quits, unfortunately. But if you somehow haven't heard these guys, go check out this album for sure. You got great songs like Shaded Mirror. The title track Termination Shock is great as well. All in all, just really awesome heavy metal. Up next in 12th, going with Darkenhold and their album Arcanes and Sortileges. So this is some French black metal. They've got the medieval aesthetic and sound that no one else can do like the French. They just really know how to nail that style and sound completely. This is full of great riffs and just memorable melodies. The opening track, Oriflamme, every time he screams, Oriflamme, it just brings a smile to my face. I love this style of black metal, and Darkenhold is one of the best out there at it. I feel like they're a little bit underappreciated and maybe unrecognized, but they also have a new album coming out right away that I'm very excited for. So a lot of good stuff to look forward to this year. But before you check out the new one, go back and revisit this one from 2020 because it's a great goddamn album. Up next in 11th, I'm going with Inquisition and their album Black Mass for a Mass Grave. So this band really has a unique style and sound. It's just the guitars and drums, no bass here. The vocals are very frog-like in the approach. I do find the production on this album was a lot cleaner than on maybe some of their other albums. The one that preceded this was a very aggressive album, and here they kind of, not to say it's not aggressive black metal still, but they brought in this like trippiness almost to it and just the psychedelic vibe to their style of playing. But I absolutely love the riffs. I think this is one of my favorite Inquisition albums for sure. It just really still stands the test of time. It stands out amongst their discography, which is saying something because pretty much all their albums are top notch. But yeah, a really great album. Just missed out on my top 10, but could be there any given day. All right, now let's get into the top 10, my 10 favorite albums from 5 years ago. So kicking it off in 10th place, going with Ulcerate and their album Stare Into Death and Be Still. So this is quite possibly my favorite album by the band. It would be a toss-up between a couple albums, but this one is right there for sure. If you're unfamiliar with them, they're from New Zealand, play a very specific, like, unique style of, like, I'll call it avant-garde death metal. You could call it technical death metal, but don't think of it like tech death. It's not the same vibe as when you hear tech death. This is not that. They're kind of their own thing, really heavy on the atmosphere, and what always stands out to me is the way that the musicians in the band really just play off each other, like the way the cymbal work will like flow off of a riff, and just the way that they create these soundscapes, it just draws you in and crushes you. Outstanding stuff. This could even easily be higher than 10th place, but these are really hard to rank once I get this high in the list because these are just all killer albums. But yeah, Ulcerate in 10th place. Up next in 9th, going with Eternal Champion and their album Ravening Iron. So this was the sophomore album by this US epic heavy metal band. Their debut album that had come out, now I can't remember what year, but a few years before that for sure, was outstanding, really made a splash on the scene. So there was a lot of hype around this sophomore album when it came out, and to me, it fully delivered. You've got great tracks like Skull Seeker, A Face in the Glare, just great riffs, very unique vocals for sure, with a lot of reverb. Maybe that's not going to be for everyone, but I think it suits the style that they're going for. I just love the sword and sorcery aesthetic here that they have, and yeah, just excellent album. Up next in 8th, going with Winter Phillip and their album The Reckoning Dawn. So if you're unfamiliar with this band, they're from the UK. This is black metal from the UK, been around a long time. This album did see them return to black metal after the album before was an acoustic folk record that they, I think, just wanted to put out to try something different. But then this came back with possibly their most aggressive album in their discography, and just what a glorious return it was. I absolutely love this album. You got songs like Absolved in Fire, In Darkness Begotten, the closing track, is absolutely outstanding as well. This band never misses. Every single album is top-notch black metal. This one is no exception. Sticking with black metal, up in 7th, going with Afsky and their album Ofte drommer of Dodd. Probably mispronouncing that. I do not know how to say this, so I will put all these albums and band names down in the description below. But yeah, Afsky with their sophomore album. This is a one-man band from Denmark playing black metal. This is a very unique style as well. It's very emotionally charged black metal. It's like super aggressive in some moments, but it like has this sense of yearning and melancholy throughout, yet is still not afraid to go into these blasting sections as well. I just love how the different emotions and vibes play off each other here. That you'll have some raging black metal, but then you'll feel the torment and a nice acoustic moment in there all of a sudden. It's just so damn good. This was the album that really got me into the band. I went back and revisited the debut after this one, and then their follow-up to this is outstanding, possibly their best yet to date. Can't wait to see what he does next. But yeah, Afsky, outstanding album. All right, we're going to stick with black metal here for a few picks as well. Up next in 6th, one of my favorite current black metal bands, Horn, with the album Mohngang. So this is another one-man band from Germany this time. This is pagan black metal. Probably no surprise to anyone that watches my channel on the regular that Horn's going to make an appearance here because, like I said, I talk about them a lot on this channel. One of my favorite active black metal bands for sure. And I just love the approach that he has in this era of the band. It really combines like just a touch of folkiness with this militaristic feel and pacing of his black metal. Not afraid to throw in some epic clean vocals as well, but then you got the harsh black metal vocals and just the whole package, how he ties his sound together. It's so uniquely his own sound. He's got his own guitar tone and the melodies that he interweaves in these songs. It's just top-notch stuff. He never disappoints me. Every album is a masterpiece. You've got great songs on here like Upstream Canals, A Ship's Bell Sounds, and then another one that I'm going to definitely mispronounce, Sot der Tot. I can't say it. I do not speak German, but if you know the album, you know which song I'm talking about. But all in all, absolutely outstanding black metal. Was easy to put on this list. Just missed out on the top 5, but any given day, it could be in there. Before I get to the top 5, I just got to take a sip of water, so hold on 2 seconds. All right, now we're going to get into the top 5, my 5 favorite albums from 2020. In 5th place, I'm actually going with an EP, being Stormkeep with Gauldrum. So this was the debut release by this band. This is some melodic black metal mixed with dungeon synth from the USA. For comparison, think a band like Emperor. Huge Emperor influence here for sure. This features some members from Blood Incantation and Wayfarer, and also features Jake Rogers doing a guest appearance of some clean vocals. Jake Rogers being from Caladan Brood, Galabrade, Visigoth. And so, yeah, throwing his clean vocals in with this music just brings it up a notch as well. But I absolutely love this. It's only 4 tracks. It was a great debut, though. You got songs like Glass Caverns of Dragon Keeps. Of Lore is easily the best song on this album, in my opinion. It's just amazing stuff. Their debut full length that came out after this is amazing as well. But yeah, I love Stormkeep. I love this EP. Up next in 4th, we're going to switch it up from black metal for a second and go with some power metal with Sacred Outcry and their album Damned for All Time. So this is some Greek power metal. This album is fucking amazing. Like, this was originally recorded back in the early 2000s, but then they kind of brought it back, wanted to give it a bigger release and give it a proper treatment. Brought in some guest vocals by Yannis Papadopoulos, who you probably know from Beast in Black, among the many other projects he does, but his vocals are amazing here. And just, it still has that vibe from like early 2000s power metal, but updated with current production. And the songs on here, you will just never get out of your head. Stuff like Lonely Man, one of the best songs on the album. The title track, Damned for All Time, a 15-minute epic, all about Elric of Melnibone. Maybe there's a theme here, a few of those albums here. But yeah, the follow-up album to this is possibly even better. One of my favorite power metal albums of all time, being Towers of Gold. But don't skip this one either. It's absolutely outstanding power metal. The Greeks know how to do it right. Sacred Outcry, one of the best out there. Easy addition to my top 5 from 2020. Up next in 3rd, going with Havukruunu and their album Uionos Syomein Sota. Probably mispronouncing that. I do not speak Finnish, but this is some Finnish pagan black metal. This is just, they have their own sound. It's so triumphant with the style of riffs that they write. It's so epic. Think like Epic Bathory meets Immortal meets Moon Sorrow. Little elements of all those bands mashed together to create their own sound. Every album they have released really hits the mark, and this one is no exception. Clearly, I'm putting it very high on my list. In my opinion, this is just some of the best black metal out there, whether it's, not just from Finland, but really any active black metal band right now. Havukruunu has to be mentioned, at least in my mind, as being one of the best. And this album is so goddamn epic. You got the choir vocals going, and then you got the harsh black metal vocals and just amazing riffs that will stick in your head. Top tier black metal. Speaking of top tier black metal, up next in 2nd, I've actually got a split album being Spectral Lore and Mare Cognitum with Wanderer's Astrology of the Nine. So yeah, like I said, this is a collaboration between the two projects, and it's just outstanding and astounding how these two individuals can create such a cohesive album, doing their own thing separately, but then the album and the songs just flow together perfectly from artist to artist, from song to song. It's just cosmic atmospheric black metal at its finest here. It's just absolutely amazing stuff. Like, if I had to pick between the two, like, I do prefer Mare Cognitum to Spectral Lore. I just like what he does a little bit more, but that's not a knock on Spectral Lore. His songs are still great here as well, but I definitely lean more towards the Mare Cognitum songs. This album is pretty much a full 2 hours. It's a double album, so it's very demanding to listen to the whole thing. You got to set aside some time, but it's well worth it. I strongly recommend that you do set aside that time for this album because it's well worth your attention, and it's one of the best collaborations I have ever heard. Amazing stuff. So that just leaves one. My favorite album from 2020, drum roll, is Seven Spires with their sophomore album, Emerald Seas. So this is a US band that is loosely labeled as symphonic metal, and yes, that label fits, but they bring in so many different influences and styles, whether it's power metal, black metal, melodic death metal, some dark jazz. Like, they've got everything. This is just a band that truly has no boundaries and no limits, and they're not afraid to step out of what other bands' comfort zones might be. Like, these are top-notch musicians that are willing to explore different terrains, and it works so well here. Like, this is, yeah, I'm putting it number one. Obviously, I think a lot of this album. You've got, like, straight-ahead power metal bangers like Every Crest or Succumb. You've got more black metal flavor on songs like Drowner of Worlds or Fearless. You've got some beautiful poetry in a song like Bury You, where the lyrics just will bring a tear to your eye because it's that good. You've got a gorgeous ballad in Silvery Moon, and then the album closes off perfectly with The Trouble with Eternal Life, bringing it all together. It's just, yeah, from front to back, it tells a story. It's amazing stuff. Like I said, the musicianship in this band is really top-notch. The vocals are great. Adrienne Cohen, whether it's her clean vocals or her harsh vocals, I absolutely love it. The song constructions, the compositions, the way they write songs, I can't praise this band enough. Absolutely love it. I love all their albums. This is possibly my favorite by them, but it would be a tough call. But it is my favorite album from 2020. So anyways, those are my picks for 2020. I would love to get yours down below. Let me know what you thought of mine, and you can look forward to another edition in this series next month. Not sure which year I'm going to do yet, but it will be another landmark year that's going to be celebrating an anniversary. So enough rambling. Until next time, Hammer Heart Metal Reviews out.